Well, hello and welcome to another live stream of Meet the Candidates as part of the DSU executive elections. Tonight, we're meeting the candidates of the Student Opportunities and Engagement Exec. I should mention that all candidates have been invited to take part in this live stream. And without further ado, let's go ahead and meet the candidates. So the first candidate we've got is Ashni.
Hello.
Hi, Ashni, you all right?
I'm good, thank you.
The next candidate we have is Amy.
Hello.
Hiya, you all right?
Yeah, good, thank you.
Sounds good. The next one we have is Abdul.
Hiya.
Hi, you all right? The next candidate we have is Cameron.
Hey, you all right?
Hi, mate, you all right?
Yeah, good.
Next up we have Becca.
Hello.
Hi, you all right?
I'm good, thanks.
Next up we have Abitimi.
Hi.
Hey, you're right. And last
Good.
but most certainly not least, we have Sasha.
Hi.
Hi. Okay. Hope we're all doing well. So we're gonna go ahead and get straight into the questions. So first and foremost, why did you decide to stand for the role? And we will go ahead and start with Becca.
So I decided to stand for the role because I have had an active role in society over the last 2 years, and I just decided that I wanted to give back. I wanted to be able to be a part of the change for the upcoming societies over the next year.
Lovely answer. Sounds good. We'll move on to Abitimi.
Thank you. I've always loved engaging with students. Coming to the UK, that's something that I always prioritize, and I'm deeply involved with a lot of student engagement activities. One of them being me as an international student representative. That was my way of making sure international students were engaging with the university, especially during these times. I just felt like this is some way I can help students, and I feel like I want to do more, and I feel like this role is a great way for me to do that. So yeah.
Oh, well, thank you very much. We'll move on to Sasha.
I have a passion for learning about people, meeting new people, and so when I came here, when I started here last year, I joined a society, and I learned a lot about what our current executive officer Aisha was doing, and I decided that what she does is so interesting, and I would like to be that person to effect change in our little world here in our universities. So that's why I'm running for this opportunities and engagement role. Thank you.
Oh, that sounds lovely. We'll move on next to Cameron.
Hey, right there. Yeah, I think when you go to uni, it's not just an academic experience, but it's also that kind of social leap you take. And I think obviously because of the pandemic and a lot of that's been damaged, I think this role would be, really good because I want to kind of just help people process kind of, their abilities and help them to kind of engage with the uni more and the societies. And I think, it's just an important role really.
No, fair enough. Yeah, no, good stuff. Let's move on to Amy.
Yeah, I just think that the extracurricular side of university can really help persons kind of grow mentally, physically, everything like that. And it really improves someone's university experience. Personally, I had a tough time my first year, and the thing that kept me here was my society, because I made lots of friends and it was really good for me. So I just wanted to kind of give back and hopefully help other people experience that as well.
Okay, yeah, sounds good. What about you, Abdul?
Before I start, I'd just like to thank DSU and Demon Media for giving us the opportunity to come and express our views and considering how hard it is. And I'm pretty sure all the candidates would be agreeing with it to campaign in these days. But moving on, and to start off with the question is, I'm a really active person and really social, and it's really I really enjoy helping other students out. And so far in England, I've been working with different organisations and volunteering opportunities, such as my Unipal rep, which I've been doing for over 2 years now. And basically with that, if someone doesn't know what my Unipal is, that's basically helping or guiding students out. And at that time, you might not realise it, but afterwards, when you go on and when you just understand that even when you're helping them out, even if you think that I wouldn't make, but if it's helping students out, the satisfaction that you get is just incredible. And at that time, I realized this is what I like doing. I would just want students to come out, have some nice time in uni. So this is what I like doing, and just want students to have a voice. And I want to be the one listening to it and actually doing something about it.
Yeah, no, that sounds good. And how about you, Ashley?
I just have to say to that I get it. That's why I'm running for this position. I think compared to everybody else, I've been here the longest. I've been with the uni for 7 years now. I've done 3 degrees. I've been parts of like the arts faculty. I've been a part of the law faculty. I've been a part of multiple societies. I've led them. I've chaired. I've, done events. I've been, like Abdul said, I've been a, head UniPal rep as well. So I get it. That international aspect, the mature student aspect, I get it. And I think for me, the biggest reason I've stayed this long, has been societies. It's been all the experiences that I've had through it, all my friends, the life I've made here for me. Whatever I have to showcase for myself in the last 7 years has been the experiences I've gathered through societies and my activities. So I'm here because I get it. That's all I have to say.
Fair enough. Powerful statement nonetheless. So I'll go ahead and send another question to you. So what do you want to bring to the role, or like what kind of changes would you like to kind of bring to this role? And we'll start with Abitimi.
Thank you. For me, I don't necessarily have any changes. I feel like the work that has been done so far has been amazing. So I'm just here to add more and improve what's already been done, if that's the right word. But like in terms of things I want to improve, like Ashley was saying, societies are a big part of being a university student. Especially coming from an international student perspective, I feel like meeting more students like myself has helped me tremendously in my university life. So I want to work on supporting student groups better. And I know societies are not the only student groups there are. So every other sort of group that are put together to support students, I want to help them support students better. And something I'm doing right now, I'm part of a group that is made up of lecturers, and basically we come on a monthly basis to discuss and research ways to help students learn better during the pandemic, especially because online learning just came from nowhere. So like we do researches, we discuss how teachers, different lecturers are teaching in their departments and how we can all come together and better it. So I think things like this are things I want to encourage more among students and among teachers and among every aspect of the university to help students. Another thing I wanted to do was provide more or like I don't know the word to use, sorry, but like create more events for students, because we have the liberation officers that are 7 groups, and they help to focus on specific parts of the students, like the LGBTQ, the international postgraduates, mature women. And I feel like working with these specific groups will also help in general to improve students' engagement and the opportunities that we can provide for them. So yeah, I just don't want to talk too much. Thank you.
No worries. No worries. Good answer. We'll go ahead and move it on to Ashley.
Sorry, all these time of technology and I was still like looking for the unmute button. In terms of change, I think just to reiterate what Ebitimi said, we've had some amazing work done. I've seen 4 different offices change in my time, and I've seen what they've done well, seen what's not gone right, and I feel like I've learned from that, so I know what not to do. And I think for me the biggest thing is we're once uni resumes, we're coming back from something that is, I want to avoid the word, but we're coming back from very different circumstances. And I think the biggest challenge is going to be, trying to find a way to get everybody involved. And the biggest change, other than just trying to carry on the work that has been done, is to try and increase that engagement using my platform. Anybody that has seen any of my work knows that I'm very consistent at it. If you've seen my work with Bollywood, I think I've tried to bridge the gap that existed between societies, whether it was, working with salsa and making a body salsa thing. So I think that is the biggest change I want to do, to try and to try and bridge that gap that exists using my platform through consistent, utilizing that platform consistently, whether it's putting up posts, whether it's, interacting with them. So I think that's the biggest change I would like to do, just that consistency as far as that goes.
Fair enough. Yeah, no, that sounds good. We'll go ahead and move it onto Abdul. Oh,
Pester and in my process. Alright. Yes.
Hello.
Yes. Basically. Hi. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now. Yeah. Hiya.
Right. So, yeah. So basically, as I said that, I was telling my manifesto in my posters. My main aim or my main goal is to get students engaging more with university's activities, more in events, really. So anything that I can get them, I can get them more opportunities in DMU, DSU, even beyond. That's going to be my number one aim. And apart from that, obviously, because of COVID, a lot of societies haven't performed like that they should have had. So I want to increase more fundings for them, so they can perform to the maximum capacity this year. And lastly, because students come into university obviously to learn, obviously after to have jobs and all. So if I can get more companies to join with DMU, and after joining, if I can get them more, let's say, part-time roles, full-time roles, anything that they can put on the CV, apart from working in university societies, if they can do something outside of DMU as well. So having that talent in our uni, that would be a major boost for us. So that's where these are the main three things I'm going to be trying to change this year.
Sounds good, my friend. We will go ahead and move on to Amy. That's possible.
Yeah, so as everyone else has already said, the DSU does amazing work, and I totally agree. And I've seen it all from all sides, really. I've been a society member, a society committee member. I was chair of the A Cappella Society for a year and another 2 years as treasurer. I have also experienced the DSU side in the Student Council. I was the Performance Society representative in the activities zone in that. So I have seen all different aspects and how it works. And I think some improvements, there is room for improvement everywhere. Obviously, no one's perfect. But I just think that I'm really passionate about giving students their voice back, especially this year as everyone's felt so distant from university. I think it's more important than ever to allow them to have their say on their experience. At the end of the day, it is their university experience, so they should be the ones controlling and giving their opinion on what they want to happen. So I've proposed in my manifesto multiple things, kind of increasing society resources so they can perform to their max, kind of free printing credits, easier room bookings and things like that. Monthly catch up with society, again, as Ashley said, to bridge that gap between societies, because sometimes I think, especially the smaller societies, you can feel so far away from the big ones that are always on the social media and always on the big screen on the VJ Patel. You feel you're more insignificant, but I don't think that's the case at all. I think every society is important, and I want to use my platform to show that everyone has a voice and everyone means something to the university.
Yeah, no, that's a really good answer. No, well done. We're going to move on to Cameron now.
Hey, all right. Yeah, I think after the pandemic, the real kind of void I've seen is flexibility and kind of willingness to change, willingness to adapt. And I think that's probably my main focus. Also conversation is a huge step, because we have, as you said, so many societies, so many different kind of people, all with kind of their complex kind of needs and issues. And I think kind of starting that conversation is crucial, and being able to then flex and adapt to those needs. So that's my 2 cents.
No, sounds good, man. We will go ahead and move on to Becca.
So what I would like to bring to the role is inclusivity. I think we all know firsthand as students in a new city how scary and how daunting it is to want to join a new society but not necessarily have the confidence to do so. And for me, I'd love to provide people with the confidence, especially allowing them to come out of their comfort zone. So I particularly particularly enjoyed the Give It a Go Week initiative that I should come up with, and I would like to enhance that. I think she did an amazing job, and I would never want to change anything that she did. Just enhance it and maybe provide further support for those who do want to get involved but are not necessarily sure how to do it, or what kind of sport, if we're talking about sport societies, what sport would suit them. I just want to make students feel more included, especially after the year we've had. Students these days are definitely going to lack kind of like social skills. Like, social anxiety is going to be a lot higher this year, and we all know like how scary it's going to be going back into like a really big environment with lots of people. And I would just like to make it a bit easier for them students and give them the opportunities that they've missed out on in the past year. So yeah, that's what I'd like to bring to the role.
Sounds lovely. And last but not least, we have Sasha.
Thanks. I feel the same way as Becca does. Personally, over the last the whole year, not being able to meet people, my social skills have drastically gone down. So I believe I know a lot of people right now here, a lot of students are facing the same thing. So if I get elected, I will be helping us students to be able to embrace themselves, be confident in themselves, and I will be also enhancing, like Becca said, enhancing a lot of the things that Aisha has done already, and improving on our resources that we give student groups. And I want to be able to make students realize that student groups are really a really important thing to have if you want a fulfilling student experience at university. And a lot of people I know are very shy to, what if they don't like me? What if I can't make friends with them? Those kind of things. So I will be working more on giving people confidence to be able to embrace themselves and give them the confidence to enjoy student groups. That's what I will do. Thanks.
No, very good answers from everybody. I'm sure that will give a lot of insight into potential voters. We're going to move on to some of the questions from the comments now. So we have one question from Lawrence Robertson that says, how do you think you could encourage more frequent collaboration and joint projects between different student groups? So I will start with Abdul.
Yeah, so basically, it's not going to be an easy task to do that, considering, as also Rebecca said, that when you come out of this COVID times, it's obviously students going to have this social anxiety, and joining society is going to be hard for everyone. I mean, not hard, but no one's going to be into it as much as you'd think, or compared with years before. But when you think that this collaboration, when you do join societies together, it does create more awareness, as in what's happening in the uni. But I don't have any certain plans for this. But obviously, if you do, like if I'm working with other executives, you're all going to be working together, coming up with perfect solutions for this question, obviously.
No, of course, yeah. No, definitely. What about you, Cameron?
Just muted my mic. So I think the main thing is accessibility. Kind of reiterating my points about adapting to people's needs. And also kind of creating more engagement, maybe giving more skills to societies to be able to broadcast online. I know, especially in the COVID year, a lot of societies were really struggling to put stuff online to broadcast their societies. Like, it was very last minute. A lot of people were struggling, like, oh, how do we even do this? So I think, yeah, that needs to be changed. Definitely like more, maybe even like workshops and things like that to help kind of societies adapt to how to even start a society, and kind of maybe steps into things like that as well. But yeah, those are kind of my main points.
Fair enough. What about you, Becca?
So I think in order to encourage frequent collaboration, we would need to find a common ground. And once we found the common ground, I feel like that would kind of, I'm going to use the words that Ashna used, kind of bridge the gap between different societies. It was a really good phrase. I really did enjoy that one. But I do feel like joining with different societies is a different way of kind of getting to meet more people and kind of broadening our own like horizons. We get to meet new people, we get to meet different types of people. And I would also like to establish a cross society platform which would encourage the different societies to talk, because I feel like if you're part of, say, I'd say an academic type society, which I was, I feel like it would be kind of unnecessary, say, for my society to go and talk to a psychology society. But I feel like if we were to do that, we would definitely find out a lot about each other that we wouldn't know necessarily. So yeah.
Fair enough. Let's go to Sasha.
I could encourage more frequent collaboration. I am part of the Women in Leadership Society, and we do collaborate with other societies as much as we can. And from my experience in that society, I think what I will do if elected is to have a centralized space within the Students' Union for all the current societies, new or old, existing, to be able to come together and physically get to know each other. I know not physically if we don't go back to campus, but just acknowledge that the other student groups exist. They are there. Many groups I know are inactive or don't have enough people. So if we have a one place to have that has all of the active groups, that will make this collaboration so much easier. And the people who join student groups are the people who want to know more people and want to enrich their lives. So this having a centralized area would be the best thing that I can think of. And so that's what I would do. And joint projects. As the opportunities and engagement officer, I think the previous year, Aisha had a few projects with many different societies together, and I really wish we could have had that this year, but it's okay. I will continue that because that is really something that I really look forward to, and I know a lot of other people look forward to too. So yeah, that's what I would do. Thanks.
Abitimi, what about you?
Thank you. So how I think that we can encourage more frequent collaborations. Similar to what Satya said, I do think that there should be a centralized platform for societies to be able to interact with each other. But also, I do think that this should be encouraged with society leaders as well as the members, because like if someone is the president, I don't know if that's what they call it, but like the chairperson, sorry, of a society, that just, and if there's a platform where all chair members or just all people in the committee in different societies were able to gather, it just means that people that like not control, sorry, people that are in charge of societies can interact more, and then they can learn and engage with each other, which will help with the engagement of societies, so they will be able to plan and create more events for their members accordingly. And this is similarly to the members as well. Also, this is different, but I'll link it. We have programs at DMU called peer mentoring, where we have students that help other students to engage with their learning and every other aspect, right? So if there are situations like this, but for societies where somebody from the LGBTQ society, right, goes with like someone from the a cappella society, so it's like you have two different people from two different societies, and then like they get to make new friends, because that will help with engaging and interacting of students, and that will help in general. And also this just goes back to the liberation officers as well, because we have people in specific roles that are put in place to help students in different aspects. So liberation officers can help with the help of the student engagement and opportunities officer as well to communicate and interact with society leaders, so that they make sure that they're doing what they're elected to do. So I think that is a way for me to encourage like, collaboration. Yeah.
Sounds good. Amy, what about you?
Yeah, with this question, I think that the biggest thing with the collaboration and joint projects is that people don't know where to go to even start a project with another society, especially if you're a smaller society with fewer members. It might feel intimidating maybe to go towards a big society and say, do you want to do a project? So in my manifesto, if anyone has read it, I have proposed a question platform. So all societies will be a part of that, and they can submit questions. So for example, if Law Society wanted to do a reenactment of something and no one wanted to get up and do it, then they could put in there saying, does anyone want to help out? And theatre might come back and say, yeah, we're up for that sort of thing. So I think the collaboration could really come with that. And you can also, I've wanted to design it so you can be anonymous if you wanted to, as sometimes it's daunting to have your name or a society attached to something. So you don't want to be seen as the one who's asking the question. So if you are kind of anxious about that, you can just pop the question in and anyone can answer it. Also, in my manifesto, I proposed bringing back the Performance Society Showcase, because I think that was an amazing thing for all performance societies. I know this kind of excludes academic and religious societies and things like that, but especially for my society, I was in the a cappella society. We're not as big as some of the other ones, and that was a big opportunity for us to go out and practice and perform. And that's a massive joint project as everyone comes together. So Bollywood, I know Ashni's in that, and kind of hip hop and dance and everything like that. They all come together, and it's a real good opportunity for everyone to show the amount of talent that DMU have. And that is kind of what my manifesto is about, kind of giving everyone a platform to kind of do what they do best.
Sounds good. Lovely answer. And we will move on to Ashni now.
Can I just say, like, I've loved everybody's answers. So I really hope that all of us took notes, regardless of whoever wins. Please implement them, because they're all amazing ideas. And as far as how I propose change, I did put in my manifesto that I am planning on personally attending every session and using my platform that week to advertise that society's work and what they do using my platform. Because as an executive, I have my platform. I have people who, come to me or that platform to see what's going on. And I think that would be a start, just to know what is going on. Because like Amy said, people don't even know what's going on. So I feel that would be a start, just using my platform and personally doing it. Because if they see their leader, their executive doing it, it's going to, inspire them or motivate them to go for it. So that would be the first thing. The other thing that I would propose is, anyone who knows me knows that I love collaborating. I love just people, and I've done that in my past. I've like I mentioned earlier, we had Bali Salsa when we had Showcase. The year that Showcase did happen, it was amazing. But it was amazing because all societies found that common ground, that we're all here to have fun. And that year was amazing because we found a way to collaborate, and that was because everybody took the initiative. Hip hop was talking to a cappella or music or drama. Everybody was talking, and I think that is something I want to encourage through roundtables, and not just formal ones, because as anyone who's been on a society knows, we do have an informal, WhatsApp group with the executive and the chairs, but that brings to it a sort of formality that sometimes it's hard to open up and discuss things. So I want to set up a roundtable or an informal meetup of sorts where, it's easy to come together and just say what you have to, and you're not forced to attend those meetings if you don't want to. And I've always maintained an open door policy. My socials are all public, so anyone who ever wants to get in touch with me can get in touch with me and discuss the ideas that they have, and I'm more than happy to push for it and be like, yes, let's collaborate, do it.
No, that sounds good. No, I completely agree. All these sound like brilliant ideas, and yeah, we'll take one more question from the comments. It's from Kelly Davis, and it says, "What plans do you have to help with this shortfall of money?" So we will go ahead and move it to Ebitimi.
Sorry, I'm just going to reread the question.
No, that's completely fine. So it's what plans do you have in place to help with the shortfall of money, as opposed to as a result of the pandemic? Yeah.
So in terms of finances, I right now, as I'm speaking, I wouldn't know how to go about the finance bit, because that is where the university itself comes in, because this is the DSU. So by making sure that we as the DSU, we engage and we communicate with the university, we can understand how finances work in terms of societies, and then we will find out how to help them from there. I think that at the end of the day, what matters the most out of everything is that students are getting the most out of their university experience, and they're able to engage to the fullest. So yeah.
No, great answer. Amy, what about you?
Yeah, as I was part of the a cappella society, as I've said, and that's quite a small society anyway. So we often did struggle with kind of financing things, and even more so now with the pandemic and not having memberships coming in. But I think that it's so important to allow people to have those opportunities without the boundary of money. The first thing that's on my manifesto in what I propose is to change the funding applications for societies. I have had to go through them before, and I think they're very lengthy and very complicated for someone who's never been part of a society. So, for example, if you're new as chair and you have to approach it, there's a lot of paperwork and you have to propose a project and things like that. So I wanted to kind of simplify that and maybe put a little less pressure on it, because I found that I was under a lot of pressure to come up with a big project that seemed really glamorous and needed the money, whereas it should be just like we need to provide resources for our students. That it can be simple as something as simple as that. So I want to be able to provide funding for those that don't need to put on a big showcase, but maybe they need printing for their session. So I want to be able to change that fund application so there's less pressure on it, so you can provide for your society no matter how big or small the project is.
Sounds good. Sasha, what about you?
First, can I say everything that Aisha has done for this term, removing the membership fee for students, joining the student groups, and lobbying for development funds from the SU to student groups has been phenomenal. Thank you so much, Aisha, if you're listening. And like Ebitimi, I will be working with the university and the students' union together to lobby for more funding from them for student groups, and maybe a minimum amount of money that each student group, when established, can receive, so that no matter if you are small or big, no matter the projects that you are planning to organize, you will still have a chunk of money there if you need it. And I agree with Amy, the application process for the funding is really lengthy. I feel your pain. And so, yeah, that's a good idea, Amy, actually. But yes, I will be doing what I've said. And also, I think what's worth doing is to learn from the Students' Union how the history of the funding has been, so that we don't make it worse. Yes. And yeah, thank you.
Sounds lovely. Becca, what about you?
Sorry, I couldn't unmute then. So basically, as being a part of a committee member, I understand that there has been like a lack of funding this year, obviously without membership funds. However, it is kind of important to realise that after lockdowns lifted and kind of we're back in a normal social setting, society, the the student union will be kind of regenerating that money lost, because I'm definitely guessing that the students are definitely going to make up for lost time. We definitely are going to do that. So we will probably generate a lot of money back from that, and this will kind of allow the student union to become financially viable again, and therefore we will be able to give the funds back on to the kind of student groups. Sorry, I really can't get my words out. But yeah, and it will put us into a better recovery, and we will have them funds once again for the students and for their activities.
No, of course, definitely. Ashley, what about you?
Kelly asking that dreaded finance question. I think for me, I have a slightly different perspective to everybody else, because I have sat on the panel that actually, as a student, passes these funds. So I know that every year a certain budget is set for societies, and I have sat through some lengthy applications, and there's a reason they're lengthy, because I've sat through those applications, reading them, where people want to go to a trip to just for a holiday. And when you have students making such applications, you know that there's a reason they're lengthy, for instance, just so, you can break out the serious ones from the ones that want it just for. So I have a different perspective in that budget is set by obviously somebody at a higher power than us. But as somebody who's been on a committee, I understand the struggle. Believe me, I do. And that's why in my manifesto, one of the things that I did say was bring back Society of the Week prizes, because not only does that encourage engagement, it pushes that society to, engage and do something that week. But that little, whatever amount that is, that £50, that £100, I know as Bollywood, we've won it a couple of times, and that went a big way. So I think that is one of the things I do want to focus on. And I know that that wouldn't be a big hole in the full allotment of the budget that we have. So that is something I am lobbying for. I know Atishan did it a couple of years ago, and it was very successful. So I want to try bring that back. But other than that, in terms of funding, it's very important to sit down and have those conversations, to try and understand what that budget is for. If it's something like printing, I know the library has, at some point had free printing, or, they have discounts for students or societies and things like that. So it's important to try and understand what that budget is for, and then to act accordingly. I would like to believe that going forward, because of everything we're coming from, they are, university understand as well. They want everyone to have that experience. They want the students to enjoy it. And I know that they will be more understanding and lenient going forward, or I'd like to hope that. But it is important to have that conversation first, and to try and understand before going straight head in with we want more money.
Fair enough. Abdul, how about you? We got Abdul, I think. Okay, we'll come back to Abdul. Cameron, how about yourself? What do you reckon?
Yeah, I definitely relate with what people are saying. I think creating that transparency between chairman and treasurers is really apparent. But I also think the university could do more, in my opinion, to kind of help develop the societies now that we've taken quite a big hit from COVID and things like that. And I think there's definitely a relationship that could be built. I also think networking and giving credibility to societies through the SU will be really empowering, because I know certain societies, like for example Snow and things like that, they get kind of sponsorships to kind of make their jackets and things like that. So kind of creating that empowerment for smaller societies and larger alike, to be able to kind of go to these companies and actually feel like they're not just a bunch of students asking for free things. It's actually got that backing behind it. I think is really important. So yeah, I think transparency and kind of empowering the societies more, basically.
Yeah, no, some brilliant points there. Abdul, are you back with us? Fingers crossed. Okay. I think we might be We might be struggling here a bit. Abdul, can you hear us at all? Yeah, that will do. I think
My connection went out.
okay. I think you're back with us. I think we got that through.
Right. Obviously, we're gonna be trying our best. We get as much funding. Obviously, because of the COVID times, students are going to be coming back more than ever. They want to just come back. They want to enjoy some uni life. So when DMU would be seeing that, obviously they're going to be trying helping us out. If we talent for some good societies, if they're going to be performing for us, let's say in the universities or so, and actually do win up like big trophies or tournaments like that. And so DMU recognizes it. Okay, yeah, we are winning it. It's worth it. With that way forward, we're going to be getting more funding for us. So obviously, as I said earlier, the main two things is to get more students into it, getting good talent for all the societies, and this is one of the best ways that you can make university listen to you by winning more stuff.
Yeah, no, of course, definitely. Well, unfortunately, that is going to be our last question of the night, as we are kind of pressed for time. If you didn't get a chance to get your question answered in the comments, head over to demontfortsu.com/elections/meet candidates to send your questions, and the candidates will go ahead and answer them for you. But apart from that, thank you very much to all the candidates who have been invited to participate. There have been some wonderful answers given. I'm really excited to see kind of who takes the lead and who kind of, see what kind of happens with the students' opportunities role. I think everyone in here would make a brilliant fit, and there's been some great ideas thrown around. But apart from that, thank you very much to everyone watching. We will be back this time tomorrow with our union developments candidates, I believe. And apart from that, thank you very much, and we will see you soon. Goodbye.